Hello everybody, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel if you're new. My name is Jake and today we're going to be looking at some potential saves that you could use in FM21. With the game on the horizon, a lot of people are thinking about who they're going to manage. There's been plenty of videos like this around on the internet. I made one that you guys seem to really enjoy a few videos back, which was mainly focused on the top 5 European leagues, so your French leagues, your Italian leagues, your English leagues. But in this video we're going to be doing some more like niche teams that are a bit more out there, ones that you might not have heard of as much. So if you do enjoy the video or get any use out of it, then feel free to hit that like button, and if you do enjoy Football Manager content, there'll be plenty on this channel coming up. So if you want to hit that subscribe button, help us get to, I think we're aiming for 190 subscribers right now, so close to our 200 subscriber goal, and that would be immense. Thank you for all your support recently, and I hope you enjoyed the video. We're not going to mess around too much and we'll get into the first team. Just one quick disclaimer though, obviously FM21 isn't out yet, so we are currently on FM20 here and in 2024 of my Vitesse save, so some things might be subject to change. For example, if we go to Ajax, look at their overview, go to their facilities, you might see that they've currently got top corporate facilities. On the next FM that could be lower, that could just be excellent corporate facilities. Obviously these things are subject to change and FM21 isn't out yet, so there's no way of really getting around that. But this will be as accurate as we can be, and we'll go into the first team now. So I hope you enjoyed the video. So the first team we're going to be looking at is Inter Miami in the MLS. Now I've never managed in the MLS on Football Manager. I know it's very different to how most other leagues work. They have a draft system. I think the American leagues are split up into 2 leagues and then you go into like playoffs kind of things. So if you do choose one of these saves with a team in the MLS, it will propose quite a unique save for you, I would imagine. I've gone for Inter Miami here. Obviously they're quite famous recently. They only appeared a few years ago. They're quite a new franchise. I think this might be the first Football Manager they're actually in FM20. So FM21 will be their second year in Football Manager, I believe. This is the team that is famously owned by David Beckham, and rather than just making it another MLS team like all the others, Inter Miami have got the clear goal of being the best team in America, and they've gone down the LA Galaxy route of signing like Asian superstars, so they have got Blaise Matuidi and Gonzalo Higuain as 2 experienced players getting on the older side, but nevertheless will still be very useful players in the MLS, plus some young talent mixed around in there too. So I think it would be very interesting if you could take Inter Miami. It would probably be quite a short-term save, I would imagine, but to take Inter Miami from being a new fan club in the MLS to being the ultimate best club in the MLS for a consistent amount of time. They've got a big stadium in one of the most famous places in America, Miami. This team is set up to be a superstar team, and if you fancy that kind of challenge just to try out the MLS, I think this would be a really good team to do it with. It'll be good fun. You can see here they were only founded in 2018. If we do go to their facilities, we can see that they've got pretty good facilities all around. Corporate facilities are as good as it gets. They've got a very good pitch, good training facilities, poor data analysis facilities, but good youth facilities and good youth recruitment. So with Inter Miami, you could really stake a claim of having a top football club in the American divisions. Now moving on to a club that are very close to my heart right now, and that is Vitesse. They're in the Eredivisie, and I have managed them on my YouTube channel for a whole series. I originally did a Chelsea series, and I moved on to Vitesse, and instantly I love the club. I really like the Eredivisie as a league. I think it can be quite competitive with every single club. Vitesse aren't one of the best teams in the league either. They're more famously known for being the team that like Chelsea ship out all their loan players to, and that will be the case in FM21. You'll have a few Chelsea loanees, including Armando Broja, who's done pretty well at the start of the season in the Eredivisie for Vitesse. They're a team with a history of having loads of young players pass through there on the way. We're talking Martin Odegaard, Nemanja Matic, Mason Mount, to name a few players that came through Vitesse, maybe weren't made there but had their breakout seasons there before moving on to another club. Now the reason I picked Vitesse and none of the other teams is because of that kind of thing where they've got the Chelsea loan players. You can basically get Chelsea loan players as long as Chelsea want to loan them for free, no wages at all. Plus building on that, you have a good youth system at Vitesse, and if you merge them together, I think you could build a very good team to eventually step out of the shadow of Chelsea, not use their loan players anymore, and then your first target will be to challenge Ajax at the top of the league, or AZ or Feyenoord, whoever it is. But based on my experience in this save, we're currently in 2024 here. Ajax are a team that no matter what, they will develop superstars, and then when them superstars sell for 100 million, they will develop more superstars and more, and they will always keep going, and Ajax are a really tough team to challenge here. But if you can eventually overtake Ajax, it took me years to do with Vitesse, then you can eventually move on and try and challenge on a European front with the young players that you produce from the academy. Like I say, they've got a very good academy, and you really can abuse that like Chelsea loan system in your early seasons to get some good players and to really help you out. And I just think the Eredivisie is such a fun league to play in. To be honest, there's quite a few teams you could start as. I would suggest maybe Groningen, Willem II, Vitesse and Heerenveen are teams that like aren't the best teams, but they're still pretty competitive, and you can slowly start pushing your way up to the divisions. So if you're looking at moving away from the top 5 leagues in the world, coming into the Eredivisie, I think is a great league, and if you can take an Eredivisie club to Champions League glory, it'll be very satisfying, and as is the Eredivisie, there's probably going to be a heavy involvement on that youth system too. Flying over to Sweden now. Now this team, Hammarby IF in the Allsvenskan, I don't know if I'm pronouncing all of this right, but they're in the Swedish league. 25% of their club is owned by Zlatan Ibrahimovic, which I quite enjoy, and that is one of the reasons I've chose these as a team in the Swedish league. But one of the other reasons I've chose them is that they're a team with a long history, but they've only recently made it back in the last few years into the top league in Sweden. But they have a huge fan base of almost 30,000 and a stadium that can hold that capacity. I don't know if that's going to be shown in this Football Manager, we'll see. Yeah, 32,000 all-seater stadium. They've got good facilities all round, and they do have the potential there to really push up that Swedish league. If you look at the history of the Swedish league here, you can see quite often it's Malmö, AIK, with the odd exception around there. But if you go all the way down to 2001, Hammarby won the league here, and that is the last time they got any kind of glory. The Swedish league doesn't have the most amount of money rolling around in it, so if you can eventually top the Swedish leagues, obviously you'll start moving into your Champions Leagues, your Europa Leagues, and if you start pushing your way through them too, that is where I think this save should go, of trying to get some European glory with the Swedish team, and I think Hammarby will be a great team to do that with. For your first 2 seasons, you'll be focusing on dominating Sweden, then you'll start trying to progress through the Europa League and stuff like that, develop some finances that you can spend, probably to bring in some young players, and you can eventually try and take the world by storm. Using that Zlatan Ibrahimovic investment, you're going to make him rich if you do well. So, and who knows, maybe when he goes to retire, maybe you could pick him up on a contract and get him playing for your club. It's very unlikely with the money that you'll have by the time he retires. Probably won't be able to pay his wages, but that would be pretty funny if Ibrahimovic was playing for a team that he owned. Flying into Poland now, and this is kind of an FM21 specific save, because as you can see here, we're looking at Warta Poznań. They're currently in the 2nd division in Poland in this save, but in real life, they've just been promoted to the top league in Poland for the first time in 25 years. Now if you look here, their reputation isn't the best, their finances aren't great either, and then if you go to the facilities, they're also not that great. This is the reason why we've chosen this team. When this team was founded in the early 1900s, they were one of the dominant teams in Poland. They've won the league in 2 occasions in 1929 and 1947, been runners-up multiple times. But then unfortunately after a long while they did start getting relegated and faded out a bit in the Polish leagues, but now you have a chance in that top division to work their way back up. Now your first goal is going to be to try and keep them up. This is going to be a complete rebuild job. You're going to have to develop the facilities, develop the finances to try and stay in this Polish league, which isn't full of money either. Push your way up to the top and challenge the big boys like Legia Warsaw and become a well-known Polish team in the 21st century to put the club back on the map. And then eventually, if you can, work your way up through the European divisions too, your Champions Leagues, Europa Leagues, Europa Conference Leagues. Not only is it going to provide finances, but it's going to be very satisfying to start pushing this club upwards. As far as I'm aware, no Polish team has ever won the Champions League, so if you could eventually go and do that too, then you really have completed it. Plus I imagine you'll be using a lot of young Polish talent, as there won't be many finances there, so maybe one day you could even go as far as managing the Poland national team and doing a country rebuild challenge. And speaking of that, we're going to move on to our final team now as we jet off to Hungary. Okay, so we're looking at Puskás Akadémia, aka the Puskás Academy. This is a team, as you can probably tell by the name, it's an academy. Named after Ferenc Puskás, who is known as probably one of the first global superstars in football. He's just made it into FIFA this year as an icon, I believe. And with heavy investment coming into the Hungarian leagues in recent times, Puskás Akadémia was formed in the name of this man as Hungary searches for its next superstar. So as you can imagine, not only will this be a fun save in that you're fighting for the Hungarian league with a team that's never done it before, you are doing this with obviously an academy, and obviously an academy is mainly focused on youth recruitment. You're going to have excellent youth recruitment, good youth facilities, good training facilities, and your job is going to be to bring through these next Hungarian wonder kids. And personally, I think your idea with this save should be take them to the top of Hungary in the long term, go for Europe as always, but then after that I think this is the complete rebuild a country job. You could have a Hungarian national team full of all of your wonder kids that you've produced, and as you do get more investment in the Hungarian league as your team develops, as will other teams, they'll produce some players that can go into the national team. I think in the longer term this is more of a country rebuild rather than a club rebuild. You can see here Puskás Academy was only developed in 2005. They're very new, but they are focused on producing the next Puskás basically. It's a tough ask, but it's a save I'm kind of looking at myself. I think it could be really interesting. A lot of Football Manager players do like developing youth, and this could be the place to do it. As I did say, Hungarian football is seeing a lot of investment recently, and I think to build this club up and to build the nation up would be such a fun save. and I hope that you guys do get involved in this save or one of the other saves that I have mentioned. So that is the last team in the video, and hopefully that did spark some ideas in your guys' minds about who you're going to manage in FM21. If you want to see another video like this with more team ideas, let me know, and I'd also be really interested in hearing who you guys are going to manage in FM21, so let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if it helped you out at all, and if you are watching and you're not subscribed and you enjoy Football Manager content, then feel free to hit that subscribe button to see more content like this. I thank you for watching, I hope you have enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next video guys. Goodbye.